It was supposed to be a light-hearted morning on Today, with Jenna and friends. Laughter, coffee, country charm. But what unfolded instead was one of the most shocking daytime TV moments in recent memory. Blake Shelton, the country superstar, known for his easygoing sense of humor, walked off the set mid-interview after a fiery exchange with co-host Jenna Bush-Hager. Jenna teased Blake about recent headlines regarding his strained relationship with producers of The Voice after his exit. "You sure you're not regretting stepping away?" she asked with a smirk. Blake chuckled at first, but his eyes narrowed. "Nah, I'm just enjoying not being micromanaged every minute of my life," he fired back. Jenna laughed nervously, sensing the shift. But what came next caught everyone off guard. The segment continued with questions about Blake's latest music and life with Gwen Stefani. But when Jenna pivoted and asked, "Do you feel like Gwen's career helps keep yours relevant?" the studio fell silent. Blake paused. "You want to say that again?" he said, his voice flat. Jenna, still trying to play it off, smiled. "I mean, y'all are a power couple. She brings in the pop fans, right?" Blake leaned back in his chair, visibly agitated. "You know, I thought this was going to be a fun interview. Didn't realize I was walking into a roast session," he snapped. The producers motioned for a commercial break, but before they could cut away, Blake stood up. "You know what? I'm good," he said, pulling off his mic and walking off set. The camera tried to follow, but the feed was quickly cut. Backstage, chaos erupted. Jenna, stunned, sat frozen as co-hosts tried to lighten the mood and recover. Well, that went differently than planned. One joked, trying to salvage the moment, but the damage had been done. Clips of Blake's walkout flooded social media within minutes. Hashtags like #BlakeStormsOff and #TodayShowDrama began trending on Twitter and TikTok. Fans were split. Some defended Blake, accusing Jenna of crossing the line with personal jabs. Others said Blake overreacted to a harmless joke. "He's a grown man, he can handle one awkward question," one viewer tweeted. Meanwhile, sources from the Today crew anonymously told media outlets that Blake had been difficult from the moment he arrived, allegedly refusing pre-show notes and brushing off producers. In the hours that followed, neither party made an official statement. But then Gwen Stefani posted a cryptic story on Instagram, a simple image of a coffee cup with the caption, "Choose peace, even when they don't." Fans speculated that it was in response to the controversy, and it only fueled the gossip. Some began questioning whether there was already trouble brewing between Blake and Gwen behind the scenes. Paparazzi caught Blake arriving alone at a Nashville bar that evening, where onlookers described him as moody and on edge. A fan even tried to ask him about the incident, but Blake simply shook his head and walked away. Meanwhile, Jenna Bush-Hager kept quiet on her own social media, an unusual silence for someone so active online. The next morning, the Today Show addressed the walkout, kind of. Jenna opened the episode with a light quip. "Well, we had a spicy moment yesterday, huh?" But she didn't mention Blake's name. Instead, the show aired a heavily edited replay of the interview that cut before the confrontation. This angered viewers even more. "Own it," one commenter wrote. "Stop pretending like it didn't happen." Meanwhile, rival outlets like GMA and The View jumped on the story, hosting panels debating what went wrong. Who was really at fault? The celebrity who walked out, or the host who pushed too far? Industry insiders began whispering that Blake might be blacklisted from certain daytime shows for being too volatile. TMZ published new footage from backstage, allegedly taken moments after the walkout. In it, Blake is seen saying, "I'm not here to be poked at like some reality show punchline." A producer is heard trying to calm him down, but Blake adds, "I've been in this business too long for this kind of ambush." The footage sparked another wave of debate. Many sympathized, saying Blake deserved more respect. "He's not a contestant, he's a legend," one country music radio host tweeted. Others argued that being a public figure comes with tough questions. If he can't handle that, maybe he shouldn't do interviews, a media analyst said during an Entertainment Tonight segment. Meanwhile, fans flooded Jenna's Instagram with mixed messages, some accusing her of baiting him, others thanking her for keeping it real. Behind the scenes. NBC executives were in damage control mode. Blake's team allegedly demanded an apology from Jenna, or the show itself, before they'd consider returning for any future interviews. NBC declined to comment, but insiders claimed tensions were high. One anonymous staffer said it was supposed to be a 10-minute fluff piece. No one expected it to go nuclear. Meanwhile, publicists from other country artists began their scheduled appearances. If Blake's gonna walk off, what'll happen when someone brings up real controversy? Joked one PR rep. As the scandal snowballed, a major question loomed. Would Blake break his silence? Asterisk, 3 days later, he did. During a concert in Austin, midway through the show, Blake paused to speak directly to the audience. "But y'all saw what happened," he said. "I came on that show to talk about music, life, the stuff we love. But I'm not here to be someone's tabloid headline." The crowd erupted in cheers. He continued, "I got nothing but love for morning shows, most of them anyway." The moment went viral, with fans praising his authenticity. Country radio stations across the South began playing tribute blocks of Blake's hits, and #WeStandWithBlake trended nationwide. But others criticized the move as calculated PR. "He's flipping the script, playing the victim card." One commentator said. Jenna, for her part, finally addressed it directly on air. Sitting beside her co-hosts, she said, "I've always tried to be honest, curious, and respectful. If anything I said came across the wrong way, I'm truly sorry." It wasn't a full apology, more of a soft walk back, but it was enough to shift the mood. Public reaction was mixed, but some fans accepted her explanation. "She's a journalist and a friend. She was doing her job," one user commented. Others still blamed her for stirring the pot, but producers felt the moment had passed. Ratings had spiked during the days following the incident, and the show leaned into it, teasing unfiltered conversations in their promos. The drama had, ironically, helped both sides in the weeks that followed. Blake returned to his tour, Jenna continued her hosting duties, and the headlines moved on, but the tension lingered. Industry observers noted that Blake had quietly canceled another appearance on The Tonight Show, fueling speculation that he was re-evaluating his media strategy altogether. Meanwhile, Today with Jenna and Friends saw a temporary boost in viewership, but also a more cautious approach to celebrity interviews. The moment became a case study in public relations, when charm turns to conflict and when banter becomes personal, whether Blake overreacted or stood his ground. One thing was clear: daytime TV just got a lot less predictable. It was barely 2 weeks after the blow-up on Today with Jenna and Friends when Blake Shelton and Jenna Bush Hager found themselves under the same roof again, this time at the Country Music Hall of Fame Gala in Nashville. Neither had planned it. Blake was scheduled to present a Lifetime Achievement award. Jenna had been invited to host part of the event due to her long-standing family ties and growing visibility in entertainment. Neither expected to cross paths. And yet, in a twist that only a publicity storm could brew, the moment came in a narrow corridor backstage, flanked by floral arrangements, PR managers, and one very startled assistant who gasped and took a step back when Blake rounded the corner and stopped dead in his tracks at the sight of Jenna just a few feet away. She looked up from her phone, eyes locking with his. The moment was thick with the weight of everything unsaid. A few cameras had followed. Blake, for behind-the-scenes content, instinctively, his team pushed the lenses away, muttering no footage. Jenna stood her ground. She didn't smile. She didn't apologize. Instead, she simply said, "That's not how I wanted it to go, you know?" Blake crossed his arms. "You sure?" he asked, voice low, clearly still guarded. "Because it felt like you were setting me up to pop off, like you wanted the country." Guy meltdown headline. Jenna exhaled slowly. "That wasn't the plan. You looked tired, defensive. I shouldn't have pushed." There was a flicker of recognition in Blake's eyes. Not forgiveness, not yet, but a crack in the wall. "You were trying to be clever TV. I was trying to be a human being." Jenna nodded. "Fair." The pause that followed wasn't warm, but it wasn't angry either. It was two people caught in the mess of public perception, unsure whether to salvage something or leave it buried. That night, Blake gave a flawless speech on stage, full of charm and humility. But backstage buzzed with murmurs about what had happened between him and Jenna. One reporter from Rolling Stone tweeted, Something's still raw there. Not sure. If they made peace, but it wasn't nothing. By morning, whispers of a potential on-camera reconciliation had begun to surface. Executives from NBC, sensing opportunity, floated the idea of Blake returning to Today for a surprise. One-on-one redemption segment. Blake's camp declined. "He's done being anyone's ratings spike," said one insider. But Jenna, she didn't shut it down. "I'd sit with him again," she said during a panel event. "I believe in second conversations." That comment made headlines of its own, sparking both hope and skepticism. Was it about mending fences or milking a viral moment? Asterisk, meanwhile, country music circles were buzzing. Artists from Luke Bryan to Carrie Underwood were being asked in interviews about the Blake and Jenna drama. Most dodged it. But Kelsey Ballerini spoke up. "It's wild how quick we are to villainize either side. Blake's got fire, Jenna's got questions. Maybe it was just the wrong day for both." Social media was more ruthless. Memes resurfaced, remixing Jenna's interview clip with dramatic music. Fans began creating parody videos titled Blake Shelton's Last Straw and Jenna's Gotcha Moment. Ironically, both sides gained followers. Blake's authenticity won him renewed loyalty. Jenna's sharp-edged candor earned her respect beyond her usual demographic. But with every trending clip, one thing became clear. Neither could fully escape what had happened that morning on live television.